yeah. We gon' turn it up tonight. We gon' party on the town. We gon' burn it up tonight. Let the ashes fall down. We get into this paper, but these niggas never listen. All these bitches steady wishing, but it's fuck 'em, I don't miss 'em now. Tell them stay about my business, know that I'm just getting riches. And I did it all for me and the squad. Yeah, I did it for the real though. You ain't really in the field, ho. See, I came up out the gutter chasing meals, bro. And I do it for the town on the real though. Man, I'm all about the Benjis. Remember days with dusty tennies. We was scraping us some pennies trying to get them.
All right, we're back for another episode of Raw Doggin' Life with Eddie. In one of the Speedworks last videos, Sal alluded to there had been a little bit of a change of plans here in Topeka at the Speedworks compound. When we bought this house, we bought it because of the fact that the way the property was laid out, and we love this house, and we've been working non-stop on it since we've been here, and especially since we sold our house in Arvada, preparing to build on this property. And we're going to build a big shop on this property, which is still the plan. However, it's been a pretty stressful deal. We've taken down, I believe, 10 or 12 trees, worked the property over, built a massive deck on the back of the house to really expand our entertainment area. We like to entertain outside barbecues, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so you guys can kind of see what it looks like here. So this house was built in 1959, believe it or not. It looked nothing like this. It was a little house, kind of like go over here and kind of look at the neighbor's house over here. It was, small house, but typical house built in the late 50s. And sometime during COVID, somebody bought this house from the original owners and stripped it down to the studs. The neighbors have commented that they thought they were just tearing it down completely, but they stripped it down to the studs and made a little 2-bedroom house into a 4-bedroom house that has 3.5 bathrooms and a 6-car garage and, stuff like that. So, love the house. Everything's beautiful with the house. Love the area, love the neighborhood. Like I said, we were preparing to build a building here. So I'm going to walk back here and kind of show you the area next to the house, which would be perfect for a big building. There's world's best box fan, Lumpy, out here chilling. That's the back corner of the property down there where we've got our 2 trailers, a crappy storage shed, which is going to go away. It's currently full of stuff. And then some of our other trailers. Come around the back here. You can kind of see where one big tree was here, where the pile of sawdust is. You can see our monster deck on the back of our house, etc. So, anyway, back to the reason why plans are changing a little bit. So, just want to be clear that our plan is to still build on this property at some point. But it's been so stressful and delays, and the county can't give us a straight answer, but that stuff's all normal stuff. However, back down here in the back of the field, down here, is where the septic tank is. And when we bought this house, that's the only thing we knew about the septic system. There's no record of it with the county because of the fact that we're not in the city limits, so there was never any real records kept. We know it's not the original septic system just by having it, inspected. It was probably done sometime in the 80s. So you can kind of see the manhole cover down here where it's like the access for the ejection pump and where they clean it out and all that stuff. So, septic companies have been out here and they told us that the lateral field was out here kind of in front of this shed and where the trailers are parked and kind of in this general area out here. So, but nobody knew for sure. So meanwhile, we figured out just by chance, because we saw some liquid and some water movement up here by the front of the property, that the leach field, we believe, and the laterals are actually at the front of the property up here, which is pretty inconvenient. We think it's kind of like right where the stuff's parked and maybe out towards the neighbor's house here. And the silly thing is they're pumping it all the way from where that cement cap is right there, all the way up to the front of the property, past where the box van is, kind of up there where our spare Jeep is and by the tree. Insane that they're pumping it up the hill. That's 200 feet is what they're doing. So since we don't really know where it's at, that kind of hinders just plopping a building out here, which is kind of, the front of it would be roughly right where Lumpy is here, 50 feet out, and then probably 75 feet back. You can kind of see that pink marker out there. That was going to be the back corner of the building. But since we don't know for sure where the lateral field is or the leach field is at this point, we're kind of on hold until we can have that fully mapped out and inspected and or just completely redone. It's really rainy and wet right now here, so basically nobody wants to come dig because they're afraid to get their stuff stuck in the field. They don't want to be muddy, they don't want to get rained on, and I don't blame them. But meanwhile, I've got a 6-car garage stuffed full of stuff that I can't get to, which I never in my life thought the 6-car garage was going to be too small. I actually bought that box fan to put motocross bikes in because of the fact that I didn't have any room for them. And then also, referencing those trailers again, both of those trailers are still full of stuff. That shed's still full of stuff. The Race Week trailer's got all the Cadillac's parts in it, and it's all in there, and I can't get to anything. So that leads us to the big change of plans. All right, so here's the solution to our building issues here. So I'm gonna flip here. So welcome to the new location of the Speedworks Mad Scientist Laboratory. The power's not on here quite yet, but basically 2,000 square feet in here. So this is going to be the new home of the Cisneros Speedworks Mad Scientist Laboratory and also the Cerakote Barn, longtime supporter and sponsor of Cisneros Speedworks. Dustin's going to get that back up and running. All that stuff's been in storage, just like the rest of the Speedworks stuff has been in storage here in Topeka. So with the building delays and all that stuff, and like I said, we've got those trailers and that shed and everything, stuff full, can't move around the garage. So while we're getting the building and the septic system all sorted out at the house, this is where we're going to be. So stay tuned for some more stuff. You'll be able to follow along, you know, as I manufacture DRZs, that kind of stuff. I actually can do some upgrades and some stuff that I've been wanting to do to the Cadillac. Might even do some work to Lumpy, with Lumpy, the smashed up pop can ram charger, that kind of stuff. So we are super excited to have this place. It is literally 5 minutes from our house, super convenient. So anyway, guys, thanks for following along on this crazy adventure. Once we get stuff moved in here, I'll do another video of it. I know that Sal's going to come out here at some point, and then we'll do a MTV crib style video. And so it begins. Already moving some stuff in here. Wouldn't be the Speedworks Mad Scientist Lab without a few DRZs in here. Lots more to go in here. Way more room for activities in this garage now. Only thing that's going to be living in these two bays is Nikki's Explorer. The Cadillac's going to go to the shop. The Grom and the Harley are going to stay here. Then once we get the shop, the stuff that's there organized currently, we still got a lot more to go here. But making progress. It's definitely so much more room in here and less congested. So I'm exhausted. I'm about to show you guys why. Spent the whole day here, me and Dustin, unloading trucks and trailers and getting stuff set up in our new hidey hole. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. Got some more pallet rack and stuff coming tomorrow so we can deal with some of these tubs that you can see is a lot of them still. So I'm going to flip the camera around, give you guys a tour of what's going on in here so far. All right, so this is not all the motorcycles, but the majority of them, especially the ones that were clogging up my garage. This is going to be the motorcycle race shop over here. So it's got set up to have 2 bays, workbenches. Got to get some lights tomorrow. Got my fab table that goes between it. Snap-on toolbox I've owned for 30 plus years. Got my little desk area. Of course, the obligatory 85 Diamondback Viper. All the stuff. Got more filing cabinets. I love filing cabinets for organizing shop stuff, so picking up 7 more of those tomorrow. I got the compressor in here. We got to do some 220 wiring for the compressor. This area over here is going to be the Cerakote Barn. So you guys will see once we do the pallet rack setup in here, it's actually going to be a surround for what's going to be a clean room and where all the Cerakote and stuff's going to happen. But yeah, and then over in this area, plan is 4-post lift so that this old guy doesn't got to climb around on the ground anymore working on cars and trucks. So this pallet rack right here, these legs are too tall for in here, so we've got some 12-foot legs coming tomorrow. And then yeah, like I said, this isn't even all the tubs. The box van's still full of tubs. One of the bays of the garage is still full of tubs, so a lot of this stuff is going to come out and get organized in cabinets and such, but it's all packed up still from when we moved from Colorado. So yeah, anyway guys, this is going to be way better. I'll be able to get back to DRZ manufacturing, you know the deal. Yeah, we're super stoked. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go home and sit down. My feet are killing me. Can't wait to show you guys more of this. It's awesome. Thanks for following along. It's never a dull moment in Eddie's life. So it's what we call it, Eddie's raw dogging life. All right, we're back. Some time has passed here. This has been a lot of late nights and some weekends working too long, wearing ourselves out. But we're coming along here at the new Speedworks headquarters shop, also home of the Cerakote Barn. So I'm going to show you guys what we got going on here so far. So usual stuff. Got some banners up. Got the race shop pretty much set up. We put up these pallet racks here that are basically forming the walls of what's going to be the Cerakote room here. Let's come around here. This is not completed yet. Dustin's still working on the framing, and this is all basically modular and freestanding. Nothing's attached to the floor and nothing's attached to the walls. So it's like a modular booth in here / workshop. We're going to be here for at least the next couple years, but not sure what we're going to do after that. So we haven't really done anything permanent in here. We want to be able to take it down and move this basically in its same configuration to wherever we go. We really like it here, but you never know what's going to happen in the next couple years. Got a 2-year lease on this place, and then with the option to renew for 2 more 2-year periods. So 6 years total is built into our lease options, and then who knows what we do from there. We're still working on gonna build some stuff at the house, but for the moment, this gets us functional again. We still got lots of stuff to put away over here on this side. In this bay right here, like I was talking about in the earlier segment, it's gonna have a 4-post lift in it. So it'll be pull a car in here, put on the 4-post lift, put it up in the air. It's probably where the Cadillac's gonna live in the winter, is up on the lift, out of the way. And then we've got this whole area here that can pull whatever in, access to the shop here. Haven't really settled on our fabrication area yet, so stuff's kind of just stuck where it'll fit at the moment. But yeah, it's coming along. Look for another update here. Rest of the construction done here, but yeah, it's coming along cool. Had to put some power in. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Plenty of storage space between dubs. I mean, this is after I put stuff away. These cabinets right here are all full of DRZ engine parts and hardware and stuff like that, carburetor stuff that's all been organized. That is all carburetor stuff. And then this banner here is kind of hiding some of the tubs that we got going on up here, so there'll be at least 2 more segments up there. Yeah, so this is what we got. Hit you guys with another update soon. All right, more shop updates. Continuing to work away here, making more and more progress. I've actually been able to do some stuff in here. Got a DRZ up and running for my good friend Tim Flynn. He brought all the way from Colorado for me to get sorted out for another friend of ours. Getting prepared to put a transmission in Tanner's truck. So meanwhile, built this 4x8 table here with a 3/4 inch plywood top covered by 1/4 inch thick HDPE top, which will be awesome for doing engines and transmissions and stuff like that. Here's this DRZ that I got running for my buddy Tim. This was not a complete motorcycle when it got here. It was pretty ratty theft recovery, and I kind of just made it into a patchwork quilt DRZ and put all the parts on it that I had, and it runs and drives and does all its stuff. So those guys will put tires on it and matching bodywork and all that stuff. Let's see what we got over here. I got my Harley in here today. It needed a much needed clutch spring. Now that we live here in the land of good air, the clutch would slip in high gear, that peak torque on the Harley, so I needed to do that. Dustin's been hard at work over here. Got his Cerakote Barn banner hung up temporarily. But yeah, this looks way different than it did. He's going through more and more of his stuff and getting it sorted out. He'll get it put away on all his pallet racks. We'll walk back here. He's been working on his workshop back here, his hideout. Come back here, we got full power going on now. So it's gonna be cool in here. He's gonna have his Cerakote spray booth back here in the corner. Lots of pegboard to hang up all his stuff. And then there's also a second floor up there that will all be storage and that kind of stuff too. So like I said in one of the previous videos, this is all modular. This will be able to all be taken apart in sections and moved if need be. Or even we've discussed if, say, we were to move to another unit in this complex, like a bigger unit, we could probably move this all in one piece using some wheel dollies. So, yeah, he's still got a lot of work to do, but he's working on it. There's going to be some smaller pallet rack shelves, kind of like what I got over there for my workbench, and along this wall, his oven for Cerakote, all that stuff. He worked hard getting all the power set up in here. He ran power everywhere we needed it. this side of the shop over here was pretty well powered, but the other side wasn't. Got 220 where we need it. Got our B blaster. And then, like I said, we'll be eventually putting a 4-post lift over here, so we'll have power set up for that too. But yeah, here we are. We're still at it. It's already been hugely useful. I've gotten a few projects done that I needed to do that I just didn't want to do on the ground at the house. So, like I said, got that DRZ for Tim. I've had this clutch spring for my Harley for like 2 months and just didn't want to do it or drag it to the shop and occupy one of my guys' lifts at work. So, yeah, decided to come over here on a Monday, do that. But yeah, we're plinking along, guys. Super stoked to have a shop again. And I've had these big tables like this before, and I've never had room to store them, so I've always given them away, or they've got taken apart and scrapped or any of that stuff. But this one's definitely the nicest one that I've done. Be able to put all of our wheel cribbing blocks underneath it along with the jack stands. Be able to take an entire automotive engine or a motorcycle engine apart, have it spread out on the table, and then if you need to store it when it's apart, you can put tubs down on the bottom with all the parts in it. So any of you guys that have done a lot of engine work and that kind of stuff, struggle is when it's apart to find a place to set the stuff down while you're working on it. It's not on the floor, you're not tripping over it, any of that stuff. So yeah, huge deal for us. But yeah, getting ready to put a transmission in Tanner's truck. He finally killed the Turbo 350 in it, so rounded up a 700 R4 from a fellow race weeker that gave us a killer deal on it. So I got to get that transmission over here, pull a pan off of it, look at it, make sure it's healthy. We're going to put seals in it, all that good stuff. Pull the Turbo 350 out of his truck, get it off to the side, and then may or may not have to address the drive shaft length on the S10, because I don't remember what length tail shaft the Turbo 350 in it has. So might have to shorten drive shaft, might have to lengthen it, or it might just be just right, you know, like 3 bears and porridge and stuff like that. So yep, once we get the transmission done, and then I got to round up a builder block. The motor in his S10 was basically made out of all used parts, and it's ran for over 30,000 miles, but it eats some oil. It doesn't smoke, but it definitely eats some oil. So he's done a good job of keeping oil in it, but now that he's an adult and starting to ride around more, figured, yeah, 700 R4 with an overdrive, and then at least build a healthy motor for the thing. And the motor that's in it was basically just so that he could learn about putting motors together, and then we were going to use it just to move the S10 around, and then, you know, swap it out with a better motor, and time got away from us. And honestly, besides the fact that that little 350 uses some oil, and it's built out of junkyard parts and a rusty bottom end that a friend gave us, and we just honed it and ringed it and put it together, the thing runs like a top. So it's not been a huge priority, but now that we have a place to do this, and we'll be all right. So I can get transmission done, and then we can get the motor done. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for following along as usual. There'll be more updates as we're going along here. Once we got the rest of the place put together, I'll come with another update. But yeah, thanks for following along. Raw Dogging Life with Eddie. Okay, well, it's going to be over 100 degrees here today in Topeka. So popped down to the shop this morning. I needed to put a final put together on it. Should be, you know, yet another one right there. You know, I looked in a box and saw, you know, one manual cam chain tensioner. I figured, what the hell, I just put a whole motor together. Usual stuff. It's kind of like the same thing when you're building ARs. If you know, you know. But anyways, gonna be the final update for a while until Sal actually gets his ass out here and does some MTV crib style stuff. But yeah, been using the crap out of the shop. We put a 700 R4 in Tanner's. That's the previous Turbo 350 that was in it. It was a $200 marketplace transmission that lasted 30,000 miles behind a teenager driving a V8 S10. So it owes us nothing, but it finally had some issues and came out. So we put a 700 R4 in it. That truck needed it pretty bad. It has 373 gears and pretty short tires on it. So it was like 3,500 RPM at 65 miles an hour on the highway. So now, you know, it's a little over 2,000 at the same time. So it's much more relaxed. Shit's nice. Got that transmission from a fellow race weeker. I put out an all call on Facebook. Thanks, Tyler, for the hookup. Was looking for 700R4 core, and he had one posted on Marketplace, and he's like, well, do you need a core? You need a good one? And I'm like, well, I'm looking for a good core to have built, but if you got a good one, I take it. And he said, yeah, I've got one out of my C10 that, you know, worked good. I just LS swapped my C10. It's just been sitting on the floor. So he gave us the Ultra hookup because it was for my kid, and for some reason people like that guy. He's currently an 18-year-old asshole, and I don't like him too much, but, you know, some people still like him for some reason. But, yeah, we swapped that. He's ripping around good still. So, yeah, figured give a little walk around at the moment. We're still not done. Dustin's got a lot of stuff, probably more stuff than he even realized by the time he unloaded the trailer in storage. He's going through it and doing all that, so where we're at the moment. So all this stuff over here is still being gone through. Lots of construction stuff. I mean, he's been working hard on it. He was off of work last week to make some progress on this, and man, he made a bunch, but we got a lot to go still. But yeah, we're back here. The race shop side of things, you know, you guys have seen earlier clips that we're doing our thing. World's best ruckus, currently on bathroom duty. This unit, as awesome as it is, does not have a bathroom in it, so we have to shoot down to the end of the row here to use the bathroom. So ruckus does its thing. It's equipped with the best feature of a ruckus, which is toilet paper under the seat. But yeah, got to get my buddy Tim out here, come pick up this DRZ that I put together. I got some miscellaneous stuff to do to my own DRZ crew. But yeah, this is what it's looking like currently. Like I said, it's going to be 100 degrees here today. So I came down here early, finished putting that DRZ motor together over there on my super cool assembly table. Sorted out the leftover parts. But yeah, Sal gets out here sooner than later, and I'm sure that video will be super cool when he releases that for the, you know, full-on MTV cribs walkthrough. But for now, you guys can kind of see what we've got going on. Definitely wasn't going to go another winter without being able to work on my stuff, because last winter was brutal. I was still fresh to Topeka, so I had some stuff to do, but man, I really needed to be able to get outside on some days or get in the shop and work on some stuff, and I couldn't because all my stuff was put away. So yeah, I'm dialed in here as far as motorcycle stuff goes. We're going to get the Cerakote Barn up and running pretty soon. I'll let everybody know on that when it's going, and then yeah, Cerakote Barn. For all your, you guys, a lot of you guys have seen some of the stuff we have on the Mustang, and you've seen some of the firearms and stuff we do, but yeah, that stuff will be super cool. But yeah, Sal will probably put a link to the Cerakote Barn Instagram page so you guys can see some of the work that's happened there over the years. But anyway, everybody stay inside, stay cool, don't melt.
We gon' turn it up tonight. We gon' party on the town. We gon' burn it up tonight. Let the ashes fall down. Yeah, we going up tonight. Rock your body to the sound. Tipping double cups of Sprite, a Bacardi and some Crown. Big bands in my bankroll, babe. Money coming in, got them pesos, ayy. We can get so high on the fuego, yeah. Tell me what it is and I'm A-okay. Ay, 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 ay.